Hey, welcome to Exploring the Sun Transits. I'm here with my two good friends, Christine and Lois, and we are looking at how these 5.5 day transits might influence or support, better yet, our purpose and what we're here to do in each day. And I first got interested in this, Christine, as you were sharing with me your learnings on human design and my sense of wanting to break away from the news from the outside world and wanting to tune into what the real news was what why I'm here and what I'm meant to be doing. And by turning my focus to these transits, it's helped me understand what's available for me, even in my day-to-day struggles.
Yeah, I think it's really fascinating, this idea of the sun moving through each year, moving through these very specific human design gates, right? That it has a transit through a particular energy, and that we are beings that are part of that energy, right? We're affected and supported by that energy. And so I really find when I figured out that that was one of the things human design was talking about, I was just like, wow, that's so interesting. And it's so far away from what our knowing is about time and about our own calendar, right? Like our calendar has nothing to do with these things that are happening for us on a very regular basis. And so it's been really interesting for me too to dig in with you and just look at these 5.5 days as specific kinds of time in a whole new way. And that's like a whole new way to look at time for me. So it's just been really fascinating.
It's too, is that in the energies in each of these transits, there's different things going on, and that they're going on for us individually, but they're going on collectively as well. And so there's those opportunities for each of us to sort of figure out, like, what difference does this make for me? What could be different? And then that has ripple effect. And the more people that are paying attention, maybe in this different way, there can be changes that we haven't seen before.
Absolutely. And you're right. Like the collective energy is really the part that's really interesting to me, Lois. And I think I'm like Lauren, I've stepped away from paying attention to the news, but I have noticed that even when like a little bit of newsy kinds of things enter my understanding or my vision of the in time, like I'm like, "Oh, that's actually something that really, is reflected in this particular transit, right? Like this energy, I can see it in the collective. And it's so that's been really fascinating. It's like, oh, can I look 3 or 4 transits ahead and kind of guess what might be showing up, right?
I I see it as such a beautiful unifying opportunity in such a polarized time to understand that in a moment of time, we're all impacted by this particular energy. And whatever we bring to the table, our strengths and our gifts and our challenges and our wounds will inform how we receive that gift. But just beginning first by looking at my experience with it and taking notes over the course of the summer was so eye-opening, but then also beginning to watch the people I lived with and how that affected it. And I could see relationship wise, like myself and my husband, how we might move through that 5.5 day transit together. Um, Sometimes very harmoniously, sometimes not so much.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's one thing that is taught in human design too, right? Within that 5.5 days, there's a progression,
Yeah.
right? It goes from an I Ching, it's based on the I Ching, and it goes through a line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And so that there is an actual progression, beginning, middle, and end to that energy as well, which is something that we can also pay attention to. And just know, like, I like this idea that whatever is, happening for you right now that might not be so great, it's like, ooh, cool. This actually will, this is part of a cycle, right? This is the beginning of it, but it will have an end. It's just a nice little reminder.
Well, I think too is that there's like, I think we're all being called to show up in like challenging times. And like in the I sort of thinking about like who do we choose to be in the world? How do we want to show up? There's like these different clues that are being offered to us too about the possibilities of things that we can learn about how we react to what's going on in the world. And are there things that we could do differently? Are there things that we can learn to help make us more resilient and more capable?
Yeah,
And if we have some sense of what's happening around us, we have a better idea of what we're working with.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. And it reminds me of a conversation we often have, Christine, is that difference between reacting and responding. And I know in astrology, it's often compared to like a weather report, right? This is coming. You can go stand in the rainstorm, or you can watch it from indoors, or you can go jump in the puddles. You get choices, right? And so we have this energy coming through that gives us that opportunity when we know it and our awareness is there, instead of all the other things that aren't important. When the awareness is there, then we can respond, right? And maybe even more importantly, receive
Hmm.
receive from that energy too.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like one of the things that this, knowledge of human design in general has helped me with is just this idea of, the world happening to us as opposed to happening for us, right? And so this, I think that some of this information is really helpful because it helps give you another frame for which to look at the energy as there for a reason and for you, and not just being there to annoy the hell out of you.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things that I hope we can achieve here is create a sense of um, togetherness amongst just the three of us, but with our listeners too, that nobody's an expert here. We are showing up and journeying together. And this gives us an opportunity to journey with you and invite you into our thoughts. There's always a wonderful opportunity to comment and share what this brings up for you. And in a way, in a very fragmented way we all live, it's a way of joining together.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Creating something bigger.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Okay, thanks.